You know in the Bible where it says to not be forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some people have actually entertained angels unaware? It's Hebrews 13:2. You've probably heard of it. Have you ever entertained an angel? Or had an angel entertain you? I'm going to tell you, it's not about an angel dropping by for a free meal. Okay? That's not what this is about. In fact, when you look in the Hebrew in this, or actually the Greek in the book of Hebrews, the word for entertain, not only does it mean to be hospitable, but it also has a secondary meaning, which is to surprise or astonish by the strangeness and novelty of a thing. In other words, the messenger will sometimes, the angel will sometime come by and do something that you see, this happened, how did it happen? It defies known laws, it defies logic, there's something going on here. I'm going to share with you one such experience right now. See this keychain? It's a pretty ordinary keychain, right? Looks pretty normal, but I'm going to show you something about it. Make my screen a little bigger. When you look at this keychain, you'll see up close, if I can get my camera right. There we go. You see that clasp? There we go. That clasp right there, where it fits, it fit in this one spot right there. You've seen those before. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You try to separate that, right? It's very difficult to get this on this ring, and it's impossible to get it off like this. You can pull all day long, you can shake your keys as long as you want, it will never come off. You have to get a knife or pliers or very strong fingernails and pry it apart, and then it'll slide off. Okay, why am I showing you this? Very important. I've had this keychain, this key fob for decades. But a few years ago, during the Trump administration, one day when I was heading to the office, I went to pick up my keys, and these two things had separated. You can't separate this for love or money. I'm telling you, you can't do it unless you get a tool or very strong fingernails and do it. But it has to be a deliberate action. It's not going to happen by accident. So, what difference does it make? Why was it separated? Well, when I saw something like that, first thing I did was ask my wife, hey, did you pull this off for some reason? Of course she hadn't. Nobody else in our house. Judah, my Labrador Retriever, he doesn't really get involved with keys. And so there was no other explanation. So I thought, well, then there's a message here. What is it? What's special about this? Because it was laying out like, look at this key fob. And here's what it says if you look at it. On one side it says, the coming king, Revelation 19:11. My gosh, what does that say? Well, as it turns out, if you turn it around, this is the message for me. You ready? And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. He that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. What would you do? What would you do? You came out to your kitchen table, and all of a sudden, something that is inseparable is separated and laying there face up for a message. And nobody did it. Nobody else has access to my house. God's up to something. And he sent a message. I kept it to myself for quite a while. Maybe told one or two people. But I'm telling you, right now, I feel like this is the time for me to share this. I am not saying, I'm not talking about the rapture or the second coming. There's a lot of different opinions on when that is and how that comes and what has to happen first. I'm not getting in on that argument. That's not the purpose of this. What I do know is that I got that message. And he's making war. He's going to settle a few things. I've got something I'm going to share with you on Friday that when you put these two together, will really wake you up. If you're not awake, it'll wake you up. And if you are awake, it'll get your alarm bells going. But I wanted you to know that some of these things that God's been giving to me, I've kept quiet. I'm in the business arena. I teach biblical principles for business. I teach God's business secrets. I teach 7 secrets of the sale. I teach negotiating secrets of Paul. I teach all that kind of business of how to succeed as a Christian in the marketplace by applying biblical truth and natural law. I don't do what I'm doing today. But I'm doing it today because I feel I need to. I feel I ought to. So it's for you. I want you to ponder that message. Let me pick that up again. And it says, hold it up, take one last look at it. Revelation 19:11, which is interesting, don't you think, 19:11? And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. That's Jesus Christ. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Something's coming. When you couple this with Friday's message, I think it'll have an impact. All right, friends, listen, I appreciate you watching the videos. Hopefully you can like them, share them, subscribe, hit the notification button if you want to be notified, and stay in touch. Pray and watch. Watch and pray. Luke 21:36. God bless you.